Okay, so we're on day number 6. It's this really tall one here, so let's try and get it out. Ooh. Okay, so I've got number 6 here. It's very, very light. So let's have a look. Oh, something long and thin. Predictions, maybe like an eyeliner. Sorry, Fraser's here. An eyeliner or like a lip liner. Okay, so it's a brand called Mina, and I definitely have heard of this brand. I used to shop here. There was a shop on Covent Garden that I used to go in, and I do actually have a couple of products, but I think they've closed down. So I think they're like a European store, but clearly the shop didn't do very well. They closed it down, I think. So it says it is a 24-hour pen eyeliner. Let's have a look. So it just looks like this. Super thin pen one. Oh my gosh, it's very, very black. It's like you don't have to like fight to get any eyeliner off. It just went on straight away. So yeah, looks good. Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a wrap with me. I'm going to be wrapping Phoebe's Christmas presents, and I'm also going to be answering some questions that I've been asked on Instagram. So with me I have my glamorous assistant Phoebe. Obviously she'll see all her presents, but it's not really a problem, she's only little, so she definitely won't remember for Christmas. And Fraser's in the background as well, just in case I want him to answer some questions as well. So before I get started, I just want to say, disclaimer alert, I am going to be wrapping Christmas presents from me and also from Father Christmas. So if you're watching with children, sorry. But the tradition in my family and in Fraser's family as well actually is to have some presents that come from family and then some presents that come from Father Christmas as well. So in my family specifically we have a tradition with paper. So Father Christmas kind of wraps in this kind of cheerful paper, and then I'm going to be wrapping from me and Fraser in this brown paper. And then obviously these ones will go in her stocking, and then these ones will go under the tree. Let's get started. So I've got all her presents here. Let me just get these ones out of the bag. And originally I started off by getting her 4 presents. I thought, oh, we'll do the whole, what is it, something she wants, something she needs, something to wear, something to read. And then I got a little bit carried away, mainly because I bought those 4 things from me and Fraser, and then suddenly I thought, oh, I really want her to have a stocking, because even though obviously it's her first Christmas and she won't really remember, I still think it's a nice tradition that we have in our family for her to have a stocking. So I did pick up a couple of extra bits, so she's now ended up with quite a few presents, definitely more than me or Fraser are going to get this year, but that's fine. So as I go, I'm also going to be having to think whether I want it to be from Father Christmas or whether I want it to be from me and Fraser, and we can have a chat about it. And then, like I said already, I'm going to be answering some questions. Oh, and just as a disclaimer, chatty, Forever Evans, a YouTube channel that I watch, she hasn't released the video yet, but she said she was going to do a wrap with me, so this is where I got that idea from. Yeah, so I will link her channel in the description. Okay, so let's get started then. So this is a present that Fraser picked for Phoebe. He bought it for her, and it is this mini little Spurs kit. We are vague Spurs fans, we're not kind of like too die-hard, but this is the kit that he got her, and then he also got it with her name and her date of birth on the back, 17th. So I'm assuming that you want this to be from us, not from Father Christmas.
Yeah, well, it was originally a kind of a surprise for you as well, but
yeah,
I got too excited to tell you what it was.
This comes with socks.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know it came with socks. That's adorable. Okay, let me see how I'm gonna put this best to be able to wrap it. So this paper is really, really short. It's not like regular size wrapping paper. So I think actually what I'm gonna do is take it off the hanger completely and wrap it without the hanger, because otherwise it's gonna be too big. Okay, so it comes with obviously the shirt that looks like this, and it says snow on the back, and then the little shorts, oh my god, that's so cute, and then the little socks as well. It's engineered, Phoebe, so you'll be able to do your football in it. Yeah. Okay, so I folded it all up a little bit smaller so that it will fit in the wrap. Let's roll out this wrapping paper. Okay, so while I'm wrapping this present, let me find a question to talk about. Okay, so all of my questions have come from Instagram. So the first question that I got says, did you experience baby blues? Have you struggled mentally? I hope you've been feeling okay. And then they also added, P.S. Phoebe is gorgeous and I love seeing your updates and watching your YouTube videos, which is really, really sweet. So thank you so much for that question. Did I experience baby blues? No, I don't think really I did. They say that baby blues kind of kick in when your milk comes in if you're breastfeeding. So that's about kind of 3 days. And I think at kind of 3 or 4 days old, I probably was a little bit more teary and a little bit more emotional. But I think there was more reasons, obviously very, very hormonal, but also because of, yeah, chatty, because of the birth that I'd had, because it didn't go to plan at all. I think it was also the fact that I was processing that experience as well. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about the birth now, but if you want to watch, I did put up my birth story, Phoebe's birth story, on my YouTube, so you can go and watch that if you haven't seen it already. By the way, I am not the best rapper at all. I'm quite kind of slapdash, so please don't judge my rapping skills. So yeah, in terms of baby blues, I would say I definitely got emotional about things, like different things, you know, about the fact that she was here and the reflecting on the birth and stuff that I had. But I would say for the most part, we've been really happy. And yeah, you're not very happy, are you? Should we get you a dummy? So yeah, I would say for the most part we've had a really kind of smooth transition into parenthood. I would say that we have adapted really well. I would say that because I'm very lucky personally, because obviously Fraser works from home, so even though he's working, he is kind of in the house if I need someone. And obviously my parents live really close as well, so I do definitely have that support around me. And if there's anything I would say is, if you were becoming a parent, the decision that we made to move close by to family was probably the best decision that we made in terms of that. So yeah, I would say I didn't necessarily experience baby blues as bad as some people can get it. You know, some people can get really bad postnatal depression. But yeah, I think I've been very lucky and I've had lots of support, and that's what is important. Okay, so next up, we have got this book. Obviously it's kind of like Christmas themed. That's not my polar bear. Its ears are too soft, and these are like classic children's books. There's one on every different creature, and it's kind of like that texture book, touchy-feely. So obviously as she starts to be more interested in stories and stuff, and it's a board book, and I think I just picked it up in a garden centre. But yes, so this is probably also going to be from us. At least books are easy to wrap. Okay, so the next thing that I have got are these tiny little socks. These are from the brand Leeward, which is a brand that I really like, and they're so cute. There's this one with little cat faces on, and then there's some stripy ones as well. These are one of the things that I picked up when I wanted to get her a few more little bits. So these are going to be a stocking filler. So yes, because these are going to go in her stocking, they are going to be wrapped in the colourful paper. Okay, so let me find another question to answer. Okay, so next question says, how difficult is it not getting a full night's sleep ever? So I have said on my Instagram lots of times and in my videos lots of times that I love my sleep. If I don't have enough sleep, I am not a nice person and I end up not having a very nice day. I just find when I'm tired, I actually cannot function. So sleep for me is quite an important part of kind of nailing motherhood. I would say that one of my priorities when having Phoebe, obviously in the first few weeks it wasn't the case, but since kind of she's been, I don't know, 3 weeks plus, I've been trying to kind of track what she does and then kind of get her into a routine, just in the sense that that means that she sleeps better in the night, because obviously if she sleeps all day then she's not going to sleep in the night. So I was really conscious that that was something I wanted to do quite early on, not in like a sleep training way, not in a leaving her to cry in the cot kind of way, but just in a more like natural pattern way. So Phoebe currently wakes up once in the night for a night feed. Because she's quite a big girl, she didn't really wake up loads in the night anyway. She was £9.1 when she was born. So a baby that was smaller probably would have woken up more in the night for feeds. So she only wakes up once in the night between 2 and 3 for a feed. When she wakes up, I'm usually up with her for about an hour, maybe sometimes even an hour and a half. That's that one done. Let me just get the next one. Okay, so I'll talk about this present and then I'll obviously continue answering the question. This is Sensory Tumbling. It's by Plan Toys, which is a really nice wooden toy brand. These are something that I looked at before she was even born, just because they're just so cute. Yeah, they are, aren't they? You're not going to have them till after Christmas though. So it's 3 little balls that they can like roll around and stuff. One of them is one for each of the senses. So one of them is visual, I think it's got a mirror in. One of them's texture, so it's got like fluffy in. And one of them's auditory, because it's got like beads that rattle around. So obviously they just roll them around and they can play with them and they look really cute. These are probably going to be... Oh, what do you think, Fraser?
What?
These toys, from us or from Father Christmas?
Us?
Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so these ones are going to be from us, so I'm going to wrap them in the brown paper. So carrying on with the question, yes, Phoebe only wakes up once in the night at the moment, between 2 and 3. We're up for about an hour or an hour and a half. I tend to watch I'm a Celebrity in that time, because it keeps me awake. She sometimes stirs around midnight, and she sometimes stirs up between 5 and 6 in the morning. But in those cases, that's what we use the dummy for. I would put in a dummy and she will settle herself back to sleep, which means that she obviously will sleep. If she's woken up at midnight, put the dummy in, she sleeps till 2. If she wakes up at 5 or 6, put the dummy in, and she usually goes back to sleep till 7-ish. So yeah, so in terms of getting sleep, obviously the question was, how do I cope without a full night's sleep? It's okay, it is what it is, you get used to it. Like I said, I tend to go to sleep about 10 because, like I said, I like my sleep. And obviously I'm up with her in the night for about an hour and a half. And then I get up when she gets up at 7. And then more often than not at the moment, when she goes back to bed at 9, I will also go back to bed with her and have her sleep for another hour or so when she has her nap. In that sense, we cope okay. If I'm particularly tired, then I will try and get a nap in the day. Tatty girl. We've definitely noticed that Phoebe's become a lot more alert and a lot more chatty in kind of the past week or two, which is really nice. Okay, so next up, we have got some muslins. Obviously they're a necessity, and they're kind of for us, not really for her, but I thought they were beautiful and it's a good excuse to buy them. These ones are also by the brand Leeward. So there's this one here with the rainbows on, and then there's this kind of taupey one, and then there's a mustard one as well. So yeah, I'm going to wrap these. I think these are going to be from Father Christmas and go in her stocking. Okay, so let's see then. The next question. What's your favourite thing about having a baby, and what's the hardest thing? That's a really that's a hard question. You should have a think as well, Grace. What's your favourite thing and what's your hardest thing? I would say my favourite thing, and this is just off the top of my head, my favourite thing is those times when she just feels really small. She's really sleepy, and we're just having a cuddle. And she's not like wriggling away, she's not trying to eat, she's not trying to do anything, she's just kind of there, she's chilled, she's having a cuddle with you. I think that feeling that you get kind of having those cuddles with your child is quite magical. And that kind of rush of love that you get when you're with them is quite magical, and I really do like those baby cuddles. Like the kind of the 2 a.m, 3 a.m, settling her back to sleep cuddle is really, really nice. So yeah, I think that is definitely one of my favourite things. In terms of the hardest thing, I think I like to think that I don't get too stressed when she's like crying and stuff, and when she's fussing. But I think sometimes the hardest thing, and I was talking to my stepmom about it, is kind of knowing when to walk away. Not in terms of leaving her to cry, but in terms of giving yourself that kind of time to take a breath and go back with a fresh head. My stepmom said that you can't, what did she say? You can't pour from an empty cup. So if you yourself are kind of stressed and getting a bit upset, then you're not going to be able to be in the best frame of mind to help your baby. I think that especially is the case at 7 o'clock when it's bedtime. Sometimes she is refusing to feed, sometimes she's just crying and crying and crying, she won't settle, and that can make me feel anxious and frustrated, which is where obviously having a partner is great. Fraser will step in, he will take her for a little bit, and I will just go get a drink, go downstairs, grab a snack, have a refresh, and then kind of go back and try and feed her again, or try and settle her again. So I think that's probably the hardest thing in my opinion. What do you think, Fraser? What's the best thing?
Similar to you, just hanging out with her when she's happy, I think. Just holding her, bouncing her around, showing her stuff.
And seeing her grow as well, and seeing her change.
Yeah,
I think it's really nice, like seeing these little smiles.
I like her smiling at the minute, she does it all.
Yeah, she smiles loads at the minute. The way she's getting more chatty and engaged, the way she kind of looks at you and almost like talks to you and talks to her toys and stuff. I think that's really nice as well. What about the hardest thing? Do you have a hardest thing?
I think kind of just when either when you're struggling and it's hard for me to know how to help.
Yeah.
And it happens very rarely with her at the moment, but when she's a bit upset and it feels like nothing that you're doing is kind of settling her, and you kind of have to literally tick off the list. You're like, okay, she's not hungry, bouncing's not working, sitting still's not working. I always find that, for example, if I'm finding that bouncing her isn't settling her, okay, actually maybe what she wants is no touch at all. Maybe she wants to be laying down, maybe she wants to be free to kick, or vice versa. Maybe if she's kicking on the floor on the play mat and then she gets upset, maybe actually she wants to cuddle and a bounce, or maybe she wants to go in the vibrating chair. So yeah, it's kind of just about following her lead and seeing what she wants, but it can be a little bit difficult when you feel like nothing you're doing is working or helping. Okay, so we've got 3 things left, I believe. So this is one of the first presents that I picked up for her, and if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen it, so definitely follow me on Instagram. I bought it from Jojo Maman Bebe, which is I think how you pronounce it, before this November lockdown, so when the shops were all open, and it is a light up unicorn, and it's by the brand Skip Hop, and I bought this one because she really likes lights. We have a lot of kind of fairy lights and lamps in our living room, and she will always focus on them. And she also loves having a bath. We have a bath every night with her. Either she has it in her little, what's that brand? Snuggle? Might be Snuggle. She has a little Snuggle bath, I think it's called that. Or she'll have a bath with me or Fraser in the big bath. So she has a bath every night, and we thought as she gets older and she kind of plays more in the bath and she's splashing more, this will be a really nice toy for her to have. So it's, you put it in the water and it lights up basically, so what's not to like? Okay, so as you can see, we decided that this present was going to be from Fraser and I as our last present for her. We did just have to cut because Phoebe needed to go for her nap. It was 4 o'clock. So she's actually now in her little chair down here. That was bought for us by Fraser's friend Hugo, shout out. So she's just asleep in her little chair down there with Fraser, and I will finish wrapping the last 2. It is also getting dark, so I'm going to try and be really quick. Okay, so the last 2 bits that I have then. This one was also from Jojo Maman Bebe. Similarly, it lights up because obviously I said already that she really likes things that light up. It's like a rattle, and when she shakes it, it will light up, and then these bits at the bottom are things that she can kind of chew on and nibble on as she gets into that kind of thing. So like I already said, we've done all 4 of our presents now, so these 2 last ones are going to be from Father Christmas. Okay, so let me get up. We've got 2 more questions. What are your tips for pregnant women, soon to be first-time mums? My first tip is definitely do your research. Research everything, especially about birth, because you know, if you've watched my birth story video, you will know that my birth was not what I expected at all. I planned for a natural home birth, and what I got was an induction followed by an emergency cesarean. But because I'd done my research about induction, I'd done my research about cesarean, I knew what to expect, and it was slightly less daunting and less kind of traumatic than it could have been. And obviously Fraser also kind of knew what those things entailed, so it meant that he could support me better and we could make the correct choices together when the time came. So definitely do your research, even if you're planning on a certain type of birth. Research everything, because you never know what's going to happen. I would also say hypnobirthing was a really great tool for me. It definitely got me through the majority of the pain of labour anyway. So I would say hypnobirthing was a really useful tool for me to have. Even in the cesarean, actually, it was a really useful tool for me to have to kind of breathe through the pain, breathe through the anxiety.
Yeah, definitely. That was your best thing.
Yeah, I think hypnobirthing was the most valuable thing that we did during pregnancy to prepare for birth. So yeah, that was also amazing. As I've already said, obviously I'm really lucky because I have family in the area, I have a partner who's really supportive. I would say build up your support network, and even if you don't have kind of like family around you and stuff, I would say join an antenatal group, speak to other mums in your area, speak to other pregnant ladies in your area, and kind of build up those friendships, because they're going to be really valuable through your pregnancy and once you've given birth as well. Especially in the pandemic when you can't see people in real life, having someone on the other end of the, you know, a WhatsApp text is really useful. And as well, actually, social media is really valuable. If you can find the right people, you know, on Instagram, the right pages, the pages that are all about positivity rather than, you know, the negativity of mothering, I find that really useful as well. And, you know, mothers that kind of help other mothers and support other mothers is really important as well. So I think Instagram is a really powerful tool as well. So the last present, obviously I've just taken it off the hanger. I'm going to wrap it not in the hanger like I did with the first one. This I picked up from Boots. It's actually Mothercare brand, but I'm pretty sure that Mothercare have gone bust, so they're probably just selling off all their clothes through Boots. It's 3 to 6 months. Obviously Phoebe's a little bit of a big girl, but they didn't actually have 0 to 3 in the store, so I just bought 3 to 6. It's this grey jumper, and it has loads of little writing on it. It says small and beautiful, brand new, tiny, you are loved, and I just thought that was really sweet, and obviously gender neutral. And then some matching leggings as well, so they're just white with grey stripes. Okay, so last present, and I'll just find the last question as well. Okay, so the last question is, do you want more children, and when do you want them? So obviously we've only just had 1 child, so not anytime soon. But I think Fraser and I are both on the same page in the sense that we both want a really big family.
I grew up with 2 siblings, and really enjoyed that and really enjoy that now. And Fraser was an only child, so I think we both kind of agreed that we wanted a big family. He likes spending time with my family and things like that. So we would say, what would you say, maybe like 3-4 kids is kind of our ideal. In terms of when we want them, like I said, we've only just had one, we don't need another one anytime soon, but I would say we're definitely in the school of thought where we'd rather have them close together than like have a 5-year age gap between each child kind of thing. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I think having to deal with like a very small child for the next 15 years
definitely
would probably get a bit draining faster than having like different ages quicker.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, I agree, and I also think that siblings can be closer, like relationship wise, if they're closer together in age as well. And also, like, we want them to be close, we want them to be able to play with each other. So definitely we would have kids sooner rather than later. Okay, so that's the last present all wrapped. Sorry if it's getting really dark really quickly. So I'm actually gonna put some bows, some ribbon on all of the presents that are going under the tree, and then we'll be finished. Okay, so these are the presents from Father Christmas, and these are the presents from Fraser and I, and they've all got their little bows on, ready to go under the tree, and obviously I'll write her name on them. So thank you so much for watching this video. I know again it was a little bit different, but I really enjoyed answering all your questions, and I hope you enjoyed watching and maybe took a little bit of inspiration for maybe what to buy for your newborn if you're a little bit stuck for ideas. So like I said already, follow me on Instagram, I'll leave it linked in the description, and yes, I will see you in the next video. Bye!